Morning, everyone. My name is DarnellDarden. I'm going to be talking to you guys today about depression in college students. So before I get started, how's everybody feeling? Okay? It's good? Good? Great. Depressed? That was the answer I was looking for. No. But I really want you guys, while we're going through these slides, to take the time and really ask yourself how you are feeling and the emotions that you're going through while you're experiencing your first year in college or coming back to college or any point during college, actually. Today we're going to be talking about depression, what it is, how we can identify it, what it looks like, and the resource you can go to help alleviate the mental illness known as depression. Slide, please. Depression is very confusing. Mental health in general is extremely confusing. And mental health, honestly, is much like trying to figure out a crossword puzzle with only 2 clues. So today I'm going to try and help you figure out how to navigate this crossword puzzle we call mental health. Slide, please. So what is depression? Well, depression is defined by the Mayo Clinic as a common but serious mood disorder. To be diagnosed with depression, you must have these symptoms present for at least 2 weeks. Now, we'll get into what depression looks like, but it's important to note that it is a mood disorder. It's very serious, and it's actually one of the most common. And in order for you to be diagnosed with depression, it has to last for at least 2 weeks. Slide, please. This graph I have right here by the CDC shows how many people who are smokers who identify with depression in their age range. As you can see, besides 40-year-old men, us guys over here are killing it. And actually it's the ladies who are killing it. So this is just me trying to throw in a small thing about how many people who are smoking. I don't know how many of you guys smoke who identify with depression. Plenty of people use alcohol, cigarettes, drugs while they're depressed in order to alleviate that pain, and this is how well it's doing. Slide, please. So is this depression? I don't think so. I think it's just being really sad. Slide, please. Is this depression? I don't think so. I think it's actually just being really pissed off. It might be manic disorder, but that's not depression. Slide, please. Is this depression? It might be. Might be a situation where you're really tired all the time, but might not be as well. Slide, please. In order to identify depression, we're going to need to figure out what it looks like, its identifiers. Now, these symptoms are from the National Institute on Mental Health, and in order for you to be identified with depression, you have to have persistent sadness, pessimism and hopelessness, insomnia or oversleeping, and loss of interest or pleasure in hobbies. And the most important thing that I want to stress today is it must last longer than 2 weeks, because a lot of people, especially in college, you get into the last 2 weeks, you got your finals coming up, stressed. A lot of people say a lot of crazy things and think a lot of crazy things. Think, oh my God, I'm not going to pass this test, I want to kill myself. Oh my God, I just got a D, I want to kill myself. And in my generation, we use a lot of hyperbole, so it's just to be expected. But if you find that you don't even care about that test that's coming up, you can't seem to get yourself out of bed in the morning, or you can't find yourself sleeping at night, and this goes on for longer than 2 weeks, you probably have depression. Slide, please. Now, how many people, this list right here, which is by the Substance Abuse and Mental Health Services of America, they show that 37% of people who are diagnosed with depression seek no treatment whatsoever. So it's important that you seek treatment. And now 44% do seek health professionals and medication, but it's important that there's 37% of Americans right now who are suffering from depression, who don't feel like getting up in the morning, who are not succeeding in college, who are not succeeding at work, and who are not succeeding in life because they do not know how to get help, where to get help, or have no interest in getting help. Slide, please. Now, I want you guys, if you guys are thinking, well, he's got me thinking now, do I have depression? I want you guys to refuse self-diagnosis, because it's important to understand that you need to go to a professional. A lot of people will say, oh, I have anxiety because every single time I go to take a test, I barf. that might be anxiety, but at the same time, it might not be. It's important to go seek a professional. That's what I want you guys to go do. Now, the question, though, as I tell you guys to seek a professional, where do you get help? Slide, please. We have online. You can go online. This phone number right up here is the National Suicide Prevention Line. Jennifer Fossel, I was supposed to actually do an interview with her talking about depression in college students, but I didn't have the time. But she did say that it was okay for you guys to email her CSM email. Family, friends, and I actually am trained in counseling, so if you guys trust me at all, you guys probably don't know me, I didn't talk very much this semester, but if you do have anything that's on your mind, I'm absolutely okay with having a conversation with you about it and pointing you in the right direction. Slide, please. This was me in college at 16. Struggle beard right there, that's why I needed that. So when I was at 16, I was in college, I was under a lot of pressure. I was depressed, I was sad. Multiple times I had tried to commit suicide because I was under a lot of pressure to try and achieve, because at the time I was 16, I come from homeschool, everybody considered me a genius. I was extremely nervous and was afraid that I was not going to be able to keep up with the pressures of life. So I suffered from depression, I sought no help. That's why I want you guys to take the time to really go out and talk with people. I didn't talk with anybody because I was shy, I was nervous. It's important to get out that first conversation that you have with a health professional, because from then it only gets easier. It only gets easier, I promise. Slide, please. So as you can see, hopefully today I've made it a little bit easier for you guys to identify depression in your lives. Slide, please. So today we've talked about depression, what it is, identifiers of depression in college students, where you can get help, and a little bit of my story about my struggle with depression. Hopefully this has informed you guys. Thank you very much.